I'm Michael Leckie, author of The Heart of Transformation, How to Build the Human Capabilities That Change Organizations for Good. I'm a speaker, author, advisor, and all around ne'er-do-well. And this is my partner, Mark.
Hey there, Mark Bowden, expert in human behavior and body language. I help people all over the world to stand out, win trust, gain credibility every time they communicate, including some of the leaders of the G7. Michael Leckie, let people know what it is that actually we do together as a partnership.
Yeah, what we do together, we almost stumbled upon by happenstance by doing some work where I reached out and engaged Mark. But we found that what we do best together is we help great leaders become truly transformative leaders. And that's where our heart's at. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about today, one of the things that gets in the way of that transformation or becoming a transformative leader. And that is that being a CEO is one of the loneliest jobs in the world. Now, if you're watching this and you're not a CEO, which is most of us, you're thinking, I don't know, sounds like a pretty good gig to me.
Yeah.
But
this is the smallest violin.
That's right.
That CEO.
That's right. So sad for that poor CEO and what she or he is doing. But you're in a room with a bunch of people, which you have a tremendously important relationship and no relationship whatsoever, where you have almost unilateral control over the things that they're trying to do in their job and their career and their wealth and their life. And so you are their best friend and their worst enemy at the same time. It's a very, very difficult place to be. And we struggle with it. Mark, tell us some of your experiences where we're in clients who really just struggle with the loneliness of the role and how that's shown up.
Well, it is unfortunately what I would call that kind of Johnny No Mates situation, where it's where I've seen clients from the other side of the room with so much power, so much influence, and just sitting on their own, to almost metaphorically with their head in their hands, with nobody to really talk to. And I don't mean this on a best friend kind of situation. Like, they have best friends. Like, let's not get this wrong. They have family and they have friends. We all get that. But in terms of getting the work done and getting it really, really well, you need some relationships that you can take chances with, that you can bounce ideas off, that you can have a sense of vulnerability with. And the vulnerability, that means you can escalate your thinking process to a higher level. You can take viewpoints that you wouldn't normally take. Think about things from different positions. Say that out loud. Say that positioning out loud to another human being. Michael Leckie, you know this as well as I do, but saying stuff out loud is very different from saying it in your head. You need other human beings that you can say that risky thing out loud to, because when you use language, your brain has to take an idea and construct it into something which is tight, which can be delivered, okay? And it means that the brain really has to think about it to put it out in language. That's when it just stays in your head, it's still a bit ephemeral, and you don't know that it's strong and that it could work. So you and I have had, have had clients whereby you sit down, you ask them the strong questions, and they take an idea that's been around in their mind and they verbalize it. And there's this moment of risk that happens, but something incredibly strong comes out. And as coaches and advisors on the other side, we're able to go, that is strong. Like, I would follow that. That I think people would follow that idea. Michael, tell us more about that.
Absolutely. And we see that all the time. And because you're in this, you do it with somebody else because you're in this room with a bunch of people who are waiting for direction. And here's what's really so odd about it is the people sitting around you, very likely, given if you're the CEO of this organization, they're really smart, successful, accomplished people too. And in most rooms, they're going to be the person that's standing up and saying what's what and telling people what to do. And then they come into your office or into the meeting and they kind of wait for direction. My brilliant friend Bob Mesta said, he goes, with no disregard to the leadership team, being a CEO is kind of like being a third grade teacher. Everyone learns differently and everyone's sitting around waiting for you to tell them what to do. And we've done that to ourselves through the power differential and the compensation differential and all the different things that organizations have built that are just there. Now people who are brilliant and capable are sitting around waiting to be told what to do. And it feels really lonely to be leading that. So, what is it that we do together? Kind of the question that begs is, how do you deal with some of that loneliness? Well, first of all, is you need to practice a place of engaging people in the right way. So you don't go too far and you don't hold back. You need a safe space in which to work that through, in which to build relationships. One of the things I think, Mark, that we really value about this work that we do and we do it together is that we build depth of relationship and friendship over time. Inevitably, the clients that we start out with as clients become our friends, and we deeply care about them and their success, which is why, and this is not our tag or marketing line, we limit this. We limit this to maybe 4 individuals in a year. I don't know, maybe 5 if we had capacity. It really depends. But very few people that we work with, so we can spend the time, so we can engage with them on a weekly basis, so we can be there more or less on call when stuff hits the fan, and can be there to help them think things through and have that safe space in the world in which they can process, they can talk out loud, they can get clear, and they can make those decisions, and they can overcome some of that loneliness with us, and then help overcome it in the rest of their lives. So if this is something you or someone has an interest in, we'd love to have a conversation with you about that. We'll make sure it's a right fit for you and a right fit for us, and hopefully we'll have the capacity to do it. But this is what we love to do. If you think this could be right for me, then the information is there at the bottom of the screen or in the notes or whatever, aspect, or whatever medium you're seeing this video on. There's something there about how to connect to us and reach out. We'd love to have that conversation with you and see if we can help, alleviate some of the loneliness and make your working world a very effective, high impact, and transformative one.